Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Warren Buffett hates Bitcoin. And the reason that he hates Bitcoin is because he states it's a non-income producing asset. It's an asset that you buy, but it doesn't create a monthly or yearly income. You're just waiting for the price to increase or for someone to pay a higher price in the future. But Warren Buffett is a fan of income producing assets. This is something that you buy, and every month or maybe every year, it produces an income. An example would be something such as real estate. When you buy a house and you rent it out to tenants, every month you will be making an income. Same thing goes for a stock that offers a dividend. You buy the stock of a company that produces a product, sells it to customers, and they make a profit. Now every month or every year, you will get part of that profit in the form of a dividend. And for the same reason that Warren Buffett hates Bitcoin, he also is not a fan of gold, because gold is also a non-income producing asset. When you buy gold, it doesn't create more gold. Same thing when you buy Bitcoin, it doesn't create more Bitcoin, but instead you're waiting for someone in the future to give it a higher value. Now, of course, I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin. The name of this channel is the Bitcoin Express, but for the purpose of this video, I agree with Warren Buffett. Bitcoin and gold are non-income producing assets. When it comes to Bitcoin, the reason it's a non-income producing asset is because of the consensus algorithm that it uses. And this is called proof of work. So to create more Bitcoin, you need to use electricity and computer hardware. You're using external sources to create more of this asset. Whereas an income producing asset would be something similar to by owning Bitcoin, you're creating more Bitcoin, but this is not the case. Now, this is the important part. Very few people understand Bitcoin and understand proof of work. So for them to understand this other algorithm called proof of stake is a lot to ask for. So at the moment, Ethereum uses the same consensus algorithm as Bitcoin, proof of work. You're using electricity and computer hardware to create more Ethereum. But Ethereum will be transitioning in the future to proof of stake. And in proof of stake, cryptocurrency, and in this case, Ethereum 2.0, becomes an income producing asset. You are using the asset itself to create more of the same asset. So with proof of stake, instead of using computer hardware and using electricity, you will be using the asset itself. So in proof of stake, you take the cryptocurrency, you stake it, you lock it up. And by doing this, you are now able to participate in the blockchain. You can validate blocks, you can add them to the blockchain, you can receive transaction fees, and you can also receive newly minted cryptocurrency. And in this case, again, Ethereum. So at the moment, Ethereum is still working on proof of work. So this is the difference between proof of work and proof of stake when it comes to income producing assets. So with Bitcoin, if you own 100 Bitcoin at the beginning of the year, a year later, you still have 100 Bitcoin. You're just waiting to see if someone's willing to pay you a higher price for that Bitcoin. But with a proof of stake cryptocurrency, you will be getting staking rewards every year. Let's say, for our example, we're going to use a 5% annual reward. So let's say you buy 100 Ethereum, and over the year, you have a 5% staking reward, or in this case, income producing asset rewards. Now you'll have 105 at the end of the year. So in the first case, you have the same amount from beginning to end. But in the second case of a proof of stake coin, you have more of the asset by the end of the year. And on top of that, you are now waiting to see if the value has increased. At the moment, Ethereum, as we mentioned, is not proof of stake, but there are many proof of stake coins where you can start earning these staking rewards. One of the most popular cryptocurrencies for this is Tezos. And you can stake it yourself, or you can stake it through exchanges or independent stakers. And you'll see rewards of 5, 6, or 7%. But Tezos isn't the only cryptocurrency that you can stake. There are many others with very high rewards. We see rewards from, let's say, Cosmos, 9.7% per year, Algorand, 5%, Icon, 13%, some of them very high, LivePeer, 36%. So we can see there are already many cryptocurrencies that use proof of stake that we can earn these staking rewards at the very moment. But there's a huge problem. Most of these projects, actually pretty much all of these projects, have such a low market cap, Many people get involved in these cryptocurrencies just for the purpose of staking. And this is a mistake. This is similar to buying a stock just for the high dividend instead of actually taking notice or looking into the underlying asset, looking into the company and seeing whether their fundamentals are intact. So when it comes to these cryptocurrencies, I'm not here to tell you if they're good or not, but there are many people that buy Tezos just for the staking reward without even knowing one application running on Tezos. But when it comes to Ethereum, they are the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, and this is without staking. People are interested in Ethereum, again, without even this feature of staking and proof of stake. Ethereum has the most decentralized applications built on top of it, and it's also the cornerstone of DeFi, or decentralized finance. So when Ethereum makes this transition to proof of stake, it is going to be huge. You are going to have an asset that many people are involved in anyway, again, the second largest market cap, and now you're adding this added benefit of proof of stake, and this potentially can be huge for cryptocurrency and huge for Ethereum. So when the time comes, you will need 32 Ethereum to stake. And you might be wondering, I don't have 32 Ethereum, that's a lot of money. Well, luckily you won't need to have 32 Ethereum to stake it because you'll be able to join a staking pool. Same way how today you're able to join a pool, let's say for Tezos, as we used in our previous example, you can go to an exchange or to an independent validator and they can stake on your behalf. And through this, you'll be able to earn rewards. So with Ethereum at the moment, it's estimated that these rewards will be somewhere between 3 to 10%, which is very high compared to the interest rate you get on your average savings account, which is 0.06%, which is a joke. It's nothing. So when this time comes, you will not need to have 32 Ethereum to stake. You'll be able to stake with 3 Ethereum or 5 or 10. And like I said, you'll be able to do this through an exchange or through an independent staker or a validator. And there's a huge incentive for these companies to do the job correctly and not cheat out their customers. First off, by staking on your behalf, you'll get a reward and they'll take a percentage of that reward. So there is a profit for them to make. And for them to continue doing this business and continue to make money, they have to keep up their reputation. So they will do their best to make sure that you get your reward so that other customers will continue to come and use their staking services. So other than the technology behind cryptocurrency, there's a whole nother half. And when it comes to Ethereum 2.0, this is pure genius. So on top of the technology in cryptocurrency, there's a whole nother side of economics or crypto economics. And it has to do a lot with game theory and incentives. So when it comes to Ethereum 2.0, first, you'll be able to participate in the system, stake your tokens, and receive a reward. But this is where the genius part comes into play. When you stake your Ethereum, it will be locked up. Essentially, it will be out of circulation. And as we all know from Economics 101, supply versus demand. As the supply goes lower, the demand and the value, the price increases. So while you have many people already today involved in Ethereum without staking, there will be a huge influx of people jumping in because now you can own the cryptocurrency and you can stake and earn these annual yields of an income producing asset. And on top of that, as there will be many Ethereum locked up out of circulation, and this will increase the demand for Ethereum. So Warren Buffett is known in the past for not being a fan of technology, and he has always avoided it. But over time, as he learned, his mindset did change. And today, Warren Buffett has a huge stake in Apple, the technology company. So you can see things change over time. Of course, this has the potential, Ethereum 2.0, to be a massive opportunity, but it doesn't come without its risks. First off, we have to first see if the transition from proof of work to proof of stake will be successful. And then afterwards, we have to see if after the transition, will there be any bugs, maybe in the smart contracts that are running, the projects running on top of Ethereum? So there are some risks. And whenever you have high interest rates, you know, 5, 7, 8, 10%, usually it means that the risk is a bit higher. So we still have to wait to see how this will play out, but it is exciting. If you're in the Ethereum space and you're paying attention, very exciting. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, very few people understand Bitcoin and proof of work. So if you're listening to this now and you already understand Bitcoin and proof of work, and now you understand the proof of stake and its potential for becoming a income producing asset, I would say you have an advantage in this space. I hope that you found value in this video. And if you like this content, go down below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.